Reginald Centracchio joins us now in studio. The Pentagon says the United States has not declared war on North Korea, so it's a continued general war of words. When do we reach the final straw?
You reach the straw that the Congress would have to make a decision as to whether a war or not if North Korea took a shot or attempted to take one of our aircraft down, especially over international airspace. And they have done that in the past, incidentally. This particular time, I'm not sure whether they have the capability to be able to take down a stealth bomber. If that happened, that would certainly be the straw that broke the camel back.
What type of military action are we talking about if that's exercised?
If they attempted to take one of our aircraft, we would certainly launch a strategic placement of ordnance along, especially north of the border of the DMZ, where all the conventional artillery is placed, because that would be the first thing that North Korea would do to take it out on South Korea. And in addition to that, they would take out industrial areas where munitions are known to be manufactured, in addition to the missiles that they allegedly have, and their nuclear sites if they have any. The problem is most of that is mobile.
All right, you were talking about South Korea. U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Rob Givens, retired, said a war between the United States and North Korea would result in about 20,000 South Koreans dying every single day. So how do you protect South Korea?
You almost can't. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Conventional artillery is all across the northern part of the DMZ. I was there, I saw that. It's all geared and specifically targeted to Seoul and the higher populated areas of South Korea. To be able to take all that out at the same time is almost impossible.
All right, finally, General, how does China play a part of it? You've been saying it all along. They're key in all of this.
China said that if North Korea started the action, they would stand by and not do anything. I have a little bit to understand on that one. They said the same thing in 1950. If we started it, allegedly, then they would come to the aid of North Korea.
All right, General, as always, thank you for your thoughts.